Hey guys, Hector with 𝗨𝗏𝑘ettlebell.com with this week's technique of the week. We're going to be breaking down the goblet squat and also the kettlebell front squat. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you one common mistake that happens during the goblet squat, and then we're going to show you a very simple technique that you can do to correct it. It's going to help open the hips, create some space in the hips. It's going to give you more control, and it's going to work the abs a little bit also, which all kind of comes together on improving the squat. So we're going to do a couple of goblet squats. And this is something very common that we see during the goblet squat. So you can see that it was kind of rushed. She was just kind of dropping straight down, really no control there. Sometimes on the descent of the squat, when you're just kind of succumbing to gravity and you're just kind of dropping down here, you can also get some rounding of the lower back. That may be some tightness in the hips. So we're going to do a little correction here on how we're going to help open the hips a little bit. We're really going to hit the hip flexors. So we want to use the hip flexors as an assistance muscle to actively pull your body down. So this is what we call an active negative. So the hip flexors are the muscles that are located on the front of the thighs, and they flex your hip. They pull your knee up towards your chest. Okay? So we want to learn how to actively use those muscles to actively pull our body down into the hole, into the bottom of the squat, versus just kind of dropping straight down. So if you have a partner, you're going to lay on your back. Partner's going to have their hands out flat, and they're going to place their feet on top of your thighs. Okay? And you're just going to simply hold the top of the foot, and partner on the bottom is going to actively pull the knees towards the underpits. And I'm just going to give her a little bit of resistance and make her work for it a little bit and actively pull the knees to the shoulders. So Caitlin's going to pull, and I'm just going to give her a little bit of resistance, making her work, and then she's going to relax. Okay, you're going to shake the legs out, and again, she's going to flex, and she's going to pull. I'm just going to give her some resistance. I'm making her use the hip flexors and relax. I'm doing one more. You don't need to do a whole lot of repetitions. Usually 2 to 3 repetitions hits the spot. She's going to keep pulling. Pull wide, and relax. Come on up. Okay. So now, as soon as you do that little drill, you want to go right back into the actual skill that you're working on. For us right now, it's the goblet squat. You can even use this with the kettlebell front squat. So now, Caitlin's going to bring the bell to the rack, and she's going to actively use the hip flexors and pull her body down as if I'm trying to pick her up. And then she'll come up. Again, actively pull down. She's going to imagine I'm trying to pick her up. One more time. And so again, this is going to give you much more control over the squat, especially if you work your way up to doing a heavy set of front squats. Let's say a female, like a pair of 16s or even a pair of 20-kilo front squats. You're going to want to make sure that you don't just like succumb to gravity and just kind of drop down into the bottom of the squat. That can create some issues. What you want to do is you want to actively use the hip flexors, actively pull your body down, and sit in between your feet. Okay? Just as some food for thought. Sometimes, if you don't have a training partner to kind of make sure that you're not giving up your lower back, because we don't want to round up the lumbar just for the sake of getting lower in the squat. Okay, sometimes that can lead to lower back soreness and many other things. So as a good checker, Caitlin's going to bring the bell up again. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the elbows and the knees as direct feedback. So she's going to actively pull down. As soon as her elbows touch her knees, she's already broken parallel, and she's as deep as she would necessarily need to go to get all the benefits of the squat. She'll come up. Now, if she goes lower and she lets her arms sink in between her thighs, you'll see her lower back round, right there. You can see how the lower back kind of tilts underneath. She'll come back up to where her knees are just barely touching the knees. As soon as the elbows touch the knees, she's pretty much as deep as she would need to go, whether with a pair of bells or one kettlebell. She'll grunt and come up, and bell down. So again, guys, that's using the hip flexors to actively pull your body down. This is going to really help create space in the hips, and it's going to allow you to get a little more depth, and it's also going to help you to keep a neutral spine here. Give that a try. Let us know how it goes. Again, Hector with hardstyletkettlebell.com.